Today we'll start with technicals because some of the information I want to share with you, such as one of the presidential candidates wants to actually back dollars with Bitcoin. The amount of crazy stuff I want to share with you today is just unprecedented. What a huge day today, guys. I have so much information to share with you and to show you exactly why I think Bitcoin is just wildly undervalued as to what is happening right now. And certainly we're going to take a look at some technicals and see as to where the price is heading. And I did a small adjustment of my long trade with some of the orders that I still have pending, so that's something I'm going to show you as well. And guys, if you appreciate these daily updates, then please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you're always notified when I make a new upload. And call me Mr. Sparon down in the comments, always very much appreciated. And let's just jump straight into this. And well, basically, just technically, well, today we'll start with technicals because some of the information I want to share with you, such as one of the presidential candidates wants to actually back Bitcoin, back dollars with Bitcoin. The amount of crazy stuff I want to share with you today is just unprecedented. So stick around till the end. But first, let's start with technicals. And right now, we're just slowly grinding our way down, and the volume is actually reducing ever so slightly. There isn't much volume. This is what I really don't like. We kind of activated this pattern with a target of 29 and then subsequently potentially even 27,000 that we broke down below this 30k support, but now we're kind of fighting it. So it is a very tough time to trade, quite frankly. So for this reason, as I also mentioned in my previous video, if you haven't seen it, please check it out, that I'm sticking to my long trade, and I will, even if we're gonna go lower, I will still keep just simply building my long trade. I don't want to short Bitcoin right now with everything that is happening. So that's why let me give you an update on my, and as you can see, my long trade right now, $300,000 long trade over on Bybit is actually break even. And my current orders, I actually stretched them a bit. So this is what it looks like right now. I will be adding 2 Bitcoin every $500, starting with 28,500. So this is 28, with 29,000, then 28,500, 28, 27,500, 27 at the, I think, is the worst case scenario for us for this short-term correction. In my personal humble opinion, this is the very important support coming in at 27 right here. So even if we were to correct down there, this is how I would just build my long trade. I've showed you how I've done this in previous trades, and we've made crazy money. So that's just the approach I'm taking. And now let's just talk about the craziest stuff ever. And also, quick reminder that a 40% discount on my famous trading education is coming to the end, and there is literally like a few seats left with this. There is only 7 hours left on this discount, and there are like less than 10 seats left. So if you want to become one of my students to learn everything that I personally know, technical analysis, fundamentals analysis, macro analysis, like how to trade, how to scalp trade, day trade, swing trade, how to put together long-term investment portfolios, how to manage money, how to do statistics and trading algorithms and trading psychology. It's a huge 5 months long education, and this is something that's going to save you years of time and thousands of dollars that you will otherwise lose, trust me, in the markets without proper education. Even if you know that you think you know how to trade, then I would still suggest going down the description of this video, clicking the button and joining with a 40% off, because it's ending literally today. So anyway, let's just jump straight into this, and because I have so many tabs here open that you need to know. So US Congressman Torres urges SEC chair to hold crypto crackdown. Right now, in the light of the XRP victory, there are so many people that are just attacking SEC and Chairman Gary Gensler for everything that he has done. So I really like to see this pressure for congressmen from Congress as well. This is absolutely beautiful. So now, next thing that I really wanted to mention that actually just feeds the narrative of what is it that we can expect. 87 of 109 analysts that were polled expect next week's Fed rate hike, and this is going to be a very important FOMC meeting. I'm going to most likely stream it, so subscribe and hit that notification bell. They expect the next Fed rate hike to be its last. So this means that we can potentially see Fed pivot by the end of the year, potentially even, or in the beginning of next year. So this is very bullish in my opinion, and I kind of agree with this, that even if we're going to do another 25 basis points, this is going to be about it. So also, this is interesting. This is an interesting narrative that a lot of people are missing right now. Microsoft stock closes at record high. So Microsoft has gone to all-time high. And NASDAQ, if we take a look at NASDAQ, I mean, S&P 500, actually, if we're going to go to the weekly chart, S&P 500 is close to the all-time high, and people are saying, oh, where is the bull market? As I said before, that there is a bull market literally happening. NASDAQ is almost at an all-time high, which is absolutely freaking unbelievable. So, and Microsoft closes at an all-time high already because after the AI-related announcement. So a lot of the companies are moving into AI, and in my personal humble opinion, we are seeing the AI being the next huge thing after crypto and still being at an early stage. And there are $8 trillion of cash sitting on sidelines being ready to enter the market because there's so much money was printed, it needs to enter the market at some point. So a lot of people are saying that, oh, this is all just a bubble with AI, it's just going to burst and all go to zero. And then we're going to see a huge major correction in S&P 500, it's going to all drag down Bitcoin, etc. But the thing is that this AI craze could be, what I'm trying to say here is that AI craze could be only at the very beginning. And this here could actually turn out to be the beginning of an AI bull market. So this is an interesting narrative that could actually help us out quite a bit. And on this note, let's take a look at something absolutely crazy. Kathy Wood, ARK Invest, still anticipate $1.5 million per Bitcoin after the US banking crisis. So, and this is something I've talked about as well, that we've seen how resilient Bitcoin is when banks are failing, people are fleeing into Bitcoin. It was so visible on on-chain data. It's crazy. And that's why ARK Invest is so bullish. They're saying, listen, Bitcoin, because of this, Bitcoin has actually proven its resilience and its store value criteria and its store value characteristic. And to be honest, I agree with it. 1.5 million seems unfreaking believable, but here is their overall targets of ARK Invest, and this is basically their worst case scenario for the next bull market, not this upcoming one, but the next one. So the price targets for 2030, they're saying that the worst case scenario is 260,000, and even if you think about it, right now Bitcoin is at 30K, so 10x in literally the next 5 to 6 years is not so bad. I mean, S&P 500 is not going to give you that kind of return. Nothing will give you this kind of a return. And this is their worst projection. Their best case scenario in the next 5 to 6, 7 years is $1.5 million. So even if we're going to meet the target in the middle, I'm still going to be very happy with it. This is the reason why I'm accumulating Bitcoin right now, guys, because in my opinion, we're really standing at one of the last generational wealth creation opportunities right now, because once Bitcoin becomes just as big as gold at $15 trillion market cap, it's going to be very hard to make huge X's. Right now, it still is possible. That's why I keep accumulating, even if we're going to go down to something like 15K, 20K, whatever. I don't believe in 15K, but if we're going to go to 20 to 25K, and my net worth will theoretically reduce, whatever. I don't care. What I care about is how many Bitcoin I have, because I do believe in these kinds of projections. I know 1.5 million seems unreal, but once it becomes the reality, and once we see so many people actually and so many institutions dabble into it, and the trillions of dollars of money that is on the sidelines and is getting ready to enter the market, you just cannot fathom how much money there is getting ready to enter Bitcoin. You just cannot fathom it. So even if 1.5 seems crazy, like something like 700 does not seem crazy, and that's 20x from today's price. You be the judge. Now, next thing. This is also quite interesting. This has been posted by CryptoCon. So, an interesting name. But nonetheless, it's an interesting observation of the correlation between Bitcoin and the US dollar parabolas. So basically, we've seen many instances, which are actually highlighted here in the bear market and early bear market end signal. So, and then also the parabola beginning. And oftentimes, it's also is working in correlation with this Bitcoin-Dixie correlation coefficient, which is this part right here. I know it all sounds very complicated, but just in general, what you need to understand is that as of right now, we're standing at a very similar point as we were in 2020 before this parabolic move and the downside move in Dixie. So like this downside move, and we're also seeing the same kind of a signal, the same kind of a downside move in Dixie right now. So potentially we are somewhere approximately on the verge of the beginning of a pump on the dollar, on Bitcoin, because there is inverse correlation between the dollar and Bitcoin and other actually assets that are kind of against the dollar. So this is very cool in my opinion. Now, next thing, before we move to the craziest part of today's video, which just still is, I'm still trying to process it in my head. Deadlines for US spot Bitcoin ETF approvals come into sight. So this means that at the earliest, we could see the first ruling by SEC in about 45 days, but most likely SEC will probably extend it, and the worst case scenario is going to be 240 days. They can extend it up to 3 times, as I've mentioned in one of my previous videos, and that's going to mean that even if they're going to do it, we're gonna keep extending it for so long, which is kind of possible and most likely will happen, then we're gonna see the resolution right closer to the Bitcoin halving in the beginning of next year. But nonetheless, the deadlines are set and the clock is ticking. And guys, I'm giving a 99% chance that one of them will be approved. So at least one ETF will have. Now, the craziest part right here. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. vows, because he is the presidential candidate for the next election, and he vows to back the US dollar with Bitcoin if elected president. So he wants to fix the situation with the dollar, to put it back on the gold standard, back it with gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So it's not just Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is in that list. And this is actually, this is unbelievable. Backing the dollars and US debt obligations with hard assets could help restore strength back to the dollar. So hard assets such as Bitcoin. So Kennedy believes that Bitcoin is a hard asset, and to be honest, it is. So it is, in my opinion, better than silver and better than gold in many, many aspects, if not all of them. So, and this is and there are other presidential candidates that are also very pro-Bitcoin. So this is huge. If we would have a president like this for the United States in the next election next year, this would be absolutely unprecedented. This would all just feed into the narrative of the hugest, craziest cycle for Bitcoin in 2024, the beginning of it, at least. So guys, this is, do what you must, do what you will. You want to short Bitcoin right now with a short-term perspective and us potentially going a bit lower, and do what you must. I'm just building my long trade, and I think that with everything that I've discussed in today's video, this is just the best course of action. But you do what you want. Remember about this discount on my famous trading education that has changed lives of thousands of people and actually taught thousands of people how to trade like professionals. Then go down in the description of this video and join right now. And check out this first episode of my trading reality show where I taught 5 people from all over the world how to trade, and they actually made money within a couple of weeks. And we did a lot of fun stuff as well. So check out this reality show, and the only one of its kind ever filmed in Dubai. And as always, peace and love. I'm Parabola. Stay smart, stay rich, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.